Gaming.
Welcome to BGFG and Stick Style. I'm Chris Phoenix, and today we're going to do an unboxing. I've been waiting for it for a little while. We hinted it on the show on BGFG, and we've talked about it online while we're gaming on Stick Style. Today, I get the privilege of actually unboxing the new PlayStation DualSense, what do they call it? DualSense Edge controller, more or less the elite controller for PlayStation 5. I'm looking forward to unboxing this and seeing if it is going to be all that and then some. We've talked about the Elite controller before. I prefer the original Elite controller. The second Elite controller is very, very good. I just think it's a little heavier and some things that are just not necessary. I think the original Elite controller still feels best, but I could be, like you've heard on the show, I'm pretty biased because it's a Gears of War Elite controller. So let's get into the unboxing. Here's the DualSense Edge, or PlayStation 5 Elite controller. And what we have is we have our little compatibility and the backing where you have a different plate. You know, it shows all the perfect your gameplay. Mappable back buttons, ultra customizable controls, DualSense wireless controller features built in, replaceable stick and modules. It all sounds really good. Again, it's an elite controller. There's a few things I'm expecting. There's a few things I'm not. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to do. So let's get this open. I'm excited about this one. There's a couple of controllers I'm excited about. This is one of them. All right, so nice packaging already. Open it up. We have our standard box, which again is the same thing that Microsoft did, and it's a good idea. I'm not saying that, oh, they're copying. Who cares? It's literally a holder for your friggin' controller. Calm down. You got your lithium ion battery that's built in, your contents, health and safety, part names, part of the controller, etc., etc., etc. Stop sliders, back button. So we can look at that later. We're going to play around with it with that initial look first. We have connector housings, I see. Stick caps, which is nice. Function buttons, and the stick module itself. So we'll get into that in a bit. So let's actually. All right, so let's take a look at the actual PlayStation controller. Now you can see just from moving around the box a little bit, I've already gotten smudges on it. It is just smudge city with this thing. It's weird. So let's take a look. I already took out the wire. It's about a 6-foot wire, braided, USB-C to USB-A. Nothing surprising there. It's laid out very nicely, just like you find on an Xbox, which we'll compare a little bit later. The controller is not that bad. It's exactly what you'd figure from a controller. I mean, it's nothing. Here's the original controller in white. And as you can see, there's a difference with the buttons. Buttons are a different color. Trackpad's a different color. Another thing that's kind of cool, you'll see gloss over here, which we'll get to in a second. But one of the features that I thought was really trick right off the bat was that if you look closely, let's see if I can get a good picture of it. I don't know if I can. Let me try. Those are all little X's, O's, squares. Those are all for the little PlayStation logos, which I thought was very cool. But that's the controller, and the weight difference is pretty much the same. It really is. I can't feel any huge weight added to it. If I was to compare the Xbox ones are heavy. The Elite 1 and the Elite 2 are heavier. The Elite 1 was naturally heavier than the regular controller, and the Elite 2 is heavier than the Elite 1. But PlayStation has maintained pretty good weight. I mean, I have to put them next to each other on a scale, but I don't feel any huge difference. So let's take a look at the controller itself. You have your triggers, which are fine, your bumpers, which are bumpers. Nothing like that has changed. In the back, though, you now have 3 settings for your trigger. You can have it, fine in the middle or full analog, full throw right there. Another thing that's kind of cool that you'll see with this is, I thought it was amazing, is that back here you have a little release button. Let's see if I can get it to go without actually having to get a knife or something. It really resets it. Oh, there we go. And it fires off. So this little, third parties are going to love this. This is just one of those things that are going to be, you're going to see everywhere, I think. All different types, and I can't wait. If the controller was a different color, or I could choose a different color and then get different plates from a third party, I think that's key. But why this comes off is because these triggers, these thumbsticks, are removable. There's little levers here that will allow you to slide these out. Now, that gives potential for several things. You have different manufacturers that can make different thumbsticks as you see fit. And it's also going to prevent any sort of wear or thumb drift, stick drift, which has become a problem in some games in some areas. You can just swap these out. I did buy an extra one for only $20 just to see what it was like. And it's just a regular, another joystick. I like that idea that you can swap these out because I have a couple of Xbox controllers that I've had for quite some time. You push it in, lock it down. The Xbox controllers I've had are just getting tired. I mean, the triggers, the thumbsticks still work. They're just getting tired. They're loosey goosey, and it'd be nice to be able to swap them out. So now let's get into what makes this an elite controller. We'll bring this back, pop that up, and you'll see there's different sticks. There's different things. The first thing we'll bring out, because it was the first thing I wondered, was this. So what this does is this simply pulls apart. I did it like 14 times. There we go. Your wire goes in here, locks down on the end of the wire, and then it plugs the wire into the front, and you can lock this down so that it doesn't pop out. I've personally never had that issue, and the immediate question that I have immediately when I saw this was, what happens when one of the kids trip over the wire? Oh, that's great. It's not going to unplug from my controller, but it is going to pull my PlayStation right off the shelf. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Thumbsticks. So we have different sized thumbsticks. We have our medium size. We have our small size. Really, really thin. So what the difference between these two is, of course, is length. But if you look at the bottom, it's a little notched. Now on the Xbox Elite controller, they're magnetic. On this one, they actually pull off with a snap. And you put the new ones on with a snap. It only goes in one way. Press it and it goes. Let me see if I can get that a little bit maybe on the audio, how loud that snap is. It's a significant snap. It gets in there. I thought that was nice. The long throw is not as long as the one that you get with the Xbox Elite 2, but good nonetheless. It's just long enough, I think, for racing games or if you're into that sort of stuff. And again, the claim to fame, of course, is the trigger. That's why everybody buys these. So I'll put one on each side, and we'll go from there. So on the back, of course, you have your standard spots. Now on the Elite 2 and the Elite 1 from Xbox, there's 2 different flappy paddles you can put on there. I'm not a big fan. I never really found the use case for them. I just didn't. I tried using them in racing games, which is what I wanted to use them for, and I just didn't like them. There was 4 of them, and there was too many. This is nice. This fits exactly where you want it to, and it's just a subtle hit. It's low profile. It comes right off the edge. Let me see if I can get a better. It's not even that far. What I think is cool are these little ones. You can have. See, I never get these right. They're not magnetic. They slip in. They slip in relatively easy, but I never get them right the first time. I've tried a couple of times now to try to do it before the show started, and it failed miserably. Let me just try this one. Come on. First, it's like USB. First time, second time. So there's the 2 differences. Now, that button is nice. You have your flappy paddle that's really kind of close to it. Think of it like a hair trigger in a lot of ways. Just little tap. where this one has got much more meat to it. This one you can really hit. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to see what the use case scenario is for each one. The first thing that comes to mind is Gran Turismo doing some shifting, manual shifting, and then reloading on other first-person shooter games and such. That's the way this controller pretty much lays out. Let me put these all back in, and we'll take a look at a comparison between them and the Xbox ones. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's take a look at all three of these. Here I have the first generation Elite 1, second generation Elite 2, Halo Edition, Gears of War Edition. I love this thing so much. I've had this thing since the day it came out, and I just adore it. So let's look at this one first. So if we look at the Elite 1, again, you have your wire just like you had in any other game. You have your controller. Now, the Elite 1 is notorious for having one problem and one problem only. This strip of rubber comes apart all the time. I've taken it in to have it replaced. At this point, I've just tucked it in and glued it. And it seems to be holding, which is nice. And then my wife's idea was to put some, I don't even know what she put, maybe Gorilla Glue across the seam to make it last a little bit longer, which, again, it works. You can see some wear that I have on the button. Again, you have two choices, hair trigger or full throttle. Your two holes for your 4 flappy paddles, and then your battery compartment. Bumpers are just like any other Xbox bumper, and your triggers are triggers. Again, it's got some weight to it. You have your magnetic D-pad, you have your magnetic thumbsticks with several sizes in the box. So you can actually have a long throw one compared to the one that's here. So, and again, you have your flappy paddles in here. Really nice. It's just my go-to controller. It really is. I use it way too much. That's why it's all worn everywhere. And like I was saying, some of these thumbsticks don't have a whole lot of pushback in them anymore after all the years. But that's the Elite 1. Let's compare that to the Elite 2. Elite 2, again, you have your braided cord. This is the Halo Edition. You have a charger right here for charging, which I have literally never used. We'll get to this key in a second. You have the flappy paddles already on the back. I put them on this one before, so I was experimenting. As you can see, one's really low and the other set's really high. It's not super comfortable. It really isn't. The lower ones are, the upper ones aren't, and it is much heavier. You have your newer Xbox buttons, and you have 3 profiles that you can choose. Same thing with the sticks and the knobs, and the D-pad is all magnetic. Buttons are nice. Bumpers are good. You have 3 different positions now on your triggers. So you have your hair trigger, which is really close, your full throw, and then the medium one. So the medium one, I would say, is probably closer to the hair trigger on the original. But the hair trigger on this one is really a hair trigger. I mean, it's a hair trigger. It's got some weight to it. The claim to fame on this one is not just the flappy paddles, but it's this little key right here. And what this allows you to do is you can take off any one of these caps for the joysticks, and there's a little screw in here, and you have 3 positions that you can do. The 3 positions are essentially normal, tight, or loose. I've played with this. I've used this in different scenarios. I like it. It's not bad, but it's not great either, in my opinion. You know, again, the more you play with something, the tighter it gets. You're going to burn these out eventually, and you can't replace them. And that's where I think the PlayStation comes in, is that you can replace them, and it's worthwhile when you do. But that's the Elite 2. Then we get back to the old PlayStation. As you can see, you have 3 high-end choices. You can still get the ones probably on eBay for short money. You can get the 2s in multiple colors now on Xbox. You can order it in whatever color you like, which I think is really cool. That's the only thing missing from the PlayStation, as far as I can tell, is that you can't order different colors. I want to see different colors that I can order, and then the faceplates I can get anywhere. I can get them at a different company. I can have them spray painted myself. It doesn't matter. I think that's a great idea, and I'm looking forward to the future of it. But man, this case, the cases I got to give to Xbox. In fact, I would say the first one. It's not as bulky as the second one, but the second one has to be bulky because it's a charger as well. And the thing that kind of burnt me about that was that this charger only works if you have it plugged in. I was hoping that it would have some sort of little battery in it. That way, if I had it charging at my house, I could simply unplug it, throw the controller in, go to my buddy's house, and by the time I get to my buddy's house, it'd be fully charged. That's not the case at all. Their cloth, this one's been around the block and then some. It's a little dirty. It could probably use a little cleaning. This one's relatively new, but again, these fibers, these cloth tops, they attract dust and particles. This bad boy is hard plastic. It's a nice plastic. Like I said before, it's like a polymer. But, I mean, I haven't done anything, and I've already got multiple smudges on this thing. So, take it as you will, and we'll see what happens. Let's go try this thing out. Okay, we got the controller plugged in initially just to set it in. And let's take a look and see what we have. Do we have a mute button anymore? No mute button anymore. Yeah, we do. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the actual... Oops. Let's take a look at the settings. Go to our DualSense. Look at our controller settings, and let's see, it's under accessories, Bluetooth accessories, DualSense Edge, which is me. Then all the other controllers. I can turn them off. What do you have for advanced? No. Advanced settings. When using your DualSense Edge wireless controller, display the function menu by pressing the function buttons. Yeah, that should be on. We'll keep that on. So the controller, vibration intensity, why is it not here? This setting is unavailable while using your DualSense Edge wireless. To change DualSense Edge wireless controller settings, go to your DualSense Edge wireless controller custom profiles. We will get there. And that's why I don't have vibration, trigger, brightness, communication method, use Bluetooth, press and hold the light. Don't care about any of that. Controller speaker, all the way up. Shortcuts for creation, game presets, etc., etc., etc. And now you have your own piece for this. So let's see. Change how you receive feedback when switching profiles. By controller indicator and vibration. Yes. Function menu. Display function menu. Display all functions. Brightness of controller indicators. I like bright. Take the tour. Yeah, why not? Let's take a look. Well, get an edge of the gameplay. Customize back buttons. Left 2, right 2, top sliders with adjustable stroke lengths. I do like that. Function buttons for quick access. Replaceable stick modules, which we already saw. Let's see. Change your button assignments according to your preferences. That's always a classic. That's nothing new. That's remapping. Adjust the input sensitivity of your stick movements for speed and accuracy. Okay. I don't know how much I want to use that. And set the input range for your controller sticks. Left 2 and right 2 buttons for better control. I can see that in a racing game. Fine-tuning it. You can save your customization as profiles. And switch between them while playing a game. Interesting. No actions there. Use the function button under the left or right stick to quick access favorite controls. Press and hold the function button to see your shortcuts now. Here we go. See what's assigned to each shortcut. Switch profiles and access controls. So I've already put a couple in there. I had the fork knife one. I had the racing one. And I had the default. I'm going to go back to the default if I can. Can I? Let me try again. I don't think it's going to let me yet. We're going to go back and adjust them. Create a custom profile. I will. Thank you very much. So let's go back into our custom profiles and see if we can figure out how to get that to work. So first one we're going to try is, let's see, our dynamic curve has been set for racing. Let's see what each one of these do. So, I mean, of course, you can pick racing, customize button assignments, stick sensitivity and dead zones, trigger dead zones, vibration intensity, strong, trigger effect intensity, strong. I've found that in some of these, so it's kind of funny. When I play racing games, I had to turn down the intensity on the brake on the left trigger because pushing so hard it lost some of the feel, I thought. But let's go back. That's for racing. Can't pick anything there. And I can rename, copy, or delete. So that's handy. Let's see what I picked for this one. Because I have this right here. Change shortcut, assign another profile, or unassign it. Okay. So I've obviously set this to sensitivity curve is precise from my look around, and sensitivity curve is steady. I wonder if I can change any of those at all. All right, let's go into Fortnite. Custom buttons, that's fine. All of these look relatively fine. I do want to change the shift up and down, which I'm going to have to get in there because I can't remember off the top of my head the shift up and down. But I'm assuming that it's easy enough to set this, like this would be shift down. So let's just say this is square. Can I assign it like that? No, I can't. Can I click? Ah, there we go. And just change it. Cool. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I can change that over. Custom button assignments. Stick dead zones, left stick. So if I'm racing, I want this to... Let's drive. So, yeah, I kind of want that. Adjusted input, controller input. I don't think that's too bad. Again, these are things you gotta kind of play with. I mean, precision curve, steady curve, a digital curve where it's on or off. Dynamic will slowly go up. Register input limit when you lift stick slightly or far, but accelerate in a middle range. So, again, you got to play around with these and see which ones work for you best. You can also adjust the curve by going in and making it deeper or pulling it back. Same thing with the dead zone adjustments. You can do all of that. And you can go right back to the game if you need to in the middle of checking these. Same thing with the trigger dead zones. Again, if you're pulling on these and you want half gas or whole gas or whatever. I like full range. I'm just like that. Vibration intensity, weak, medium, strong, or off. Same thing with the trigger effect. So that was on Fortnite. Racing is another one where I have to get in there and see what my button assignments are because I do want to move the triggers over and get the shifting going. So let's see if we can get the shifting going in a racing game and change them at will. So if I hold my shift and hit that, now I can change into another. That's pretty cool. I put fork knife in there. Custom DualSense Edge controller profiles. Create a new profile, assign. Tells you how to do it, which is nice. Customize the button assignments. You can create a maximum of 30 profiles. Holy crap. Assign a profile to a shortcut. So they really thought this thing out. And this is definitely something that you can really get into. Put it on the default one for now. You can unassign profiles, assign them. Let's see what we can figure out over in... All right, let me see if I can get a game adjusted first. I haven't adjusted a game in a while. All right, got into some Gran Turismo. Grab the Scirocco. Figured it'd be the easiest one to try. Let's go into settings. We can change the car. Go into the car settings itself. Car settings. Assist settings, controller settings. That's what I'm looking for. So these are the controller settings right here. But now, do I have the opportunity to... I want to hold the function button. I have my different choices. I want to go to customize. Nice. Now, when I'm in here, I'm going to see What? The custom button assignment. So I'm going to change these two down here to... Cool. It's already here. On my racing one. Nice. And stick dead zone. Not going to worry about that. Trigger, again, intensity. So now I should be able to get right back in. So let's see what it does. Let's see how bad it screwed things up. We'll hit the start. First thing I'm going to do is see if I can downshift. It does not let me downshift. Did I not pick it? Hold on. No, I did not. So I'm going to use this button. Switch it over to racing. All right. Yeah, that takes a little bit of getting used to. Triggers again, you know, you can adjust how deep the triggers are. Flappy paddle I have on the upshift. Nub paddle I have on the downshift. I really don't know which one's better. I like that I can just touch the nub. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down here. I'm going to switch that button out. So I'll take out the flappy paddle. And I'll put in the nub. See how that goes. So, you know what? First I will try. As I go into a wall here. I'll try the flappy pedals on both sides first, and we'll see how that goes. Flappy pedal 1, flappy pedal 2. There we go. Flappy pedal's not too bad. They had to lower down the sensitivity of this brake. I'm not good with the hard brake. The gas, yes. So you want to be very cautious as to how you run your gas. So let me stop the car, which would be wonderful. Put it in another gear. I should go nowhere. Let me see if I can adjust it here first. Which I don't know if it's going to be in-game. So let me go into here and trigger vibration. Trigger. No, I don't want to do that one. I want to do it, I think, in the game. I think in the game would be a little bit better. So let's go to trigger effect on the brake. It's already out weak. Can I turn it off? Let's see how off does. Let's see if that overrides. Oh yeah, it's off. So the flappy paddles are pretty good. I don't hate them. Let's try the brake here. Yeah, it's much better for me. I like it. Now let's try the nub. Swap it over to the nubs. See how the nubs go. All right. So the nubs on the... Yeah. You can just hit them real quick, which is nice. I mean, I can go either way, I think, with these on a racing game. Let's just do a lap here. That's how you burn out a transmission too, people. Alright, so let's see if I go into a shooter. What do I want to do for a shooter? Now, I'm going to mess up Fortnite bad. I'm sure of it. So let's go into that and see what I do there. This should be interesting. I am still drinking my morning coffee. And let's see what buttons I would use in Fortnite. Nobody cares about the news. Nope. Well, it's almost end of January, so yeah. I feel like I should have a different character for this, though. Let's see what's new. No. 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 Make it rain, please. Not too bad. Let's see. Nope. Nope. No. Squatting dogs a lot now. Though this is kind of cool. No, though. Gonna go with a no. Shut off my shuffle. Let's see who we got. What do I feel like testing with today? You know, Human Bill is one of my go-tos that I really like. So let's go with Human Bill. And I'm sure that this is not going to go the way I want. That's probably shitty service today, as always. I have no intention of playing any of those. And what mode am I in here? Hold on. I don't want to be in building mode. That. Connected, I'm going to back out, so. Whatevs. I guess as long as I... Jeez, it's taking forever. Come on, man. Today, Junior. Oh, how the hell did I end up here? That's a hard no. So I get for not paying attention. Yeah, no. Nope. Is it no build? Battle Royale, 0 build, Battle Royale. There we go. That's better. You know, before I even do that, I got to go in yet again because PlayStation. Not even PlayStation, just Fortnite itself. Just annoying. Let's see. Don't auto. I want east. That makes sense. You know what else I'm forgetting? I'm forgetting that I can't up this. I don't think I can. I don't think I have the ability. I'm going to be stuck at 60 frames. Pretty sure. Yeah, well. Such is life. 60 frames it is. I'm going to look into that eventually at some point. I don't really... I'd rather play this particular game. I'd rather play on the computer itself because I can get more frames. PlayStation, I kind of use whatever I get. It's a solid 60, so I'm not super worried. Wish it was 120, but it's not. In order to get in there, the microphone's on the controller. Let me grab a gun. Maybe I can preset this. First thing I do is turn off my damn microphone. I already got a microphone. Works fine. Okay, so if I switch this over, that's zoom. That'll work. Okay, so I need to do the old X and... I don't want to jump. I want to reload. So what I'll do is once I jump out, I'll switch it over. Yay, fork knife. Everybody's probably jumping out. Not a lot of jumpers right here. I'll land and I'll adjust the, I don't know what other button I would want to put as a trigger. As a flappy pedal. That house looks good. Already. What the deuce? It wasn't bothering nobody. I'm gonna die first shot. Alright, so let's... If anybody else comes down here, let's switch this over to fork knife. How's the shoot? Oops. Work for me. Now if I switch this over... There's an assault rifle because I really want an assault rifle. Okay, I gotta remap that button. Hopefully I won't die in the meantime. Let's go in. We're gonna customize the button assignments. Right down here, we're gonna make this one our old square. Went right by it. We'll leave the other one alone for now because I'm not sure what I want to do with that one. I didn't save it, damn it. So now I have sensitivity on precision and a steady curve on that, but I'm going to change that for my right stick. I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Kind of need to shoot somebody now. Need to work this out. I kind of wanted that. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Yeah, and I died at 52. But I do like the, again, it's, you know, I can go either way with the which buttons. I can go either way. But again, having those triggers there, the controller does not feel super heavy or anything else, which is really nice. This works for me. So that's pretty much the unboxing and the initial demos using both a first-person shooter in Fortnite and using a racing game in Gran Turismo 7. Your mileage may vary, pun intended, but I think the PlayStation controller is a good investment. I don't think it's a bad investment. I enjoy the Elite controllers. I like having the options. I, of course, use regular controllers all the time, whether it's in the living room on the PlayStation or the Xbox or in the stick style room where we have different controllers for different things. Down here in the studio, I use an Xbox controller on my PC all the time. This thing's the 20th anniversary one, and it's beat the shit. Same thing with the upstairs and in the living room. Those controllers get thrown around, chewed on by animals or little babies. So you don't want to keep the Elite controllers anywhere near those. But comparing them to the other Elite controllers, I think I would rate the PlayStation up there with the original Elite controller. I'm not a huge fan of the second one. I see its benefits. I use it still, but I think this one's got potential. I like to see different colors. I like to see different faceplates, and I like to see some third parties come out with some sort of joystick change-outs that are going to be interesting. Whether it's a dial one like the Xbox Elite 2 has, where you can dial in the sensitivity, but the ones on the software side, I haven't found a reason for them yet. I'm going to have to tweak them out and check them out a little bit more in depth. But all in all, for the price point of this, which I believe is somewhere around the $200 range, it's a good controller. If you're playing a lot of PlayStation and that's your go-to console, I think this is a good choice. We finally have an Elite controller from the original company instead of a third party. And I think that's great. So we'll catch you on Stick Style. Listen to BGFG. Join us anytime for a game. Hit us up for an invite. We're not hard to find. Only I could fall off my chair.